Vexed versus Strict, a match up we haven't seen so far that way. And, well, so far today, we mostly have seen most of the teams. LELC, for example, yesterday. We had once more have a debut. Besides, well, the early game between Havu and Red Reserve, and Tricked Vexed is a different sort of caliber, of course. I think it still can deliver us a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Both teams probably playing on the same level or nearly same level. We have Tricked with most of them being, or at least with the old roster being of North Academy lineup. Yeah, they have 2 standards right now, so I'm not quite sure what to expect from them. We have Vex on the other hand, who have been playing for a little bit longer, but still not able to get anything
big on the
done
line.
yet. Yeah.
That's one of the things you have to say about that team. What I personally though see as a problem right now for Vexed, for Tricked, is really that they're just playing with 2 stand-ins. We saw the result yesterday, and I could personally imagine that it will be the same way once more, because you're having just a different sort of structure when you're playing with a stand-in. That is just that way. There's nothing different about that. And that's where I see actually Vex having an advantage over them and really having the opportunity to grab that win and to snatch it home and to get a 2-0 already early in this United Masters League. But on the other hand, Tricked is still Tricked, and those players are quite experienced. Danish players especially. We know how good they are. And some might say Piff is even a little whitewashed, And but I heard he brings a lot of structure to Vexed. So I still want to give it Vexed, but I think this could be very tight, very honestly.
Yeah, I can't even just start to think how that's going to play out. I mean, it depends on the playstyle of Tricked beforehand. So if they're a team that used to or is playing very structured style, if you have 2 new players, of course it's gonna suffer your style, and you have to adapt and play a more loose, some just basic executes. But if Trick themselves never had a structured style in the beginning and played a little bit loose, maybe looking for picks, what we saw how LDLC played on the T side on Mirage, not very successfully, but still trying to go for the picks, trying to find the entry. If that's their play style, then I think 2 new members or 2 stand-ins aren't that bad for them. It's not as severe as if you have a structured style and you have a complete new system you're gonna set up.
I don't know if it's gonna brutally hurt them. I think that's a little harsh to say, but I still see that they're gonna suffer from that.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, I think they're gonna really suffer from that. I think as far as I know, we're about to go live in a second. We're just waiting for the game to start. Train is our first one. Very, very tactically driven map. Valiant's shown it yesterday how you can do it majorly with strats. And Tricked and Vexed, I'm not quite sure if they're going to have the same kind of, tactical book to open up, if their game plan is the same, to say like that. The strat book probably a little fitter. But I think we're going to be surprised about that.
Yeah, especially since both teams, I think, are from Scandinavia or from the northern states. Yeah. So, as far as I know, at least it used to be that way in 1.6. I think it's still in CSGO that most of those teams or players really like to play Train.
Yeah.
And they play Train regularly. Example for Germany, I would say most players know how to play Cash, and Train is like the Cash from the Germans is for the Swedish and Finnish side. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is what's interesting about Vexed is that language-wise, they have to speak English because they got 2 British players in their lineup.
Yeah.
Piff, for example, is actually the player who used to play in NA for a while. Luminosity, for example, with Devil Walk. It was a very short stint comparatively. They were trying themselves in NA and how that would work out. So that's very interesting to see, if you ask me. I think that's something where you see, okay, he got that experience. Quicks, who's the IGL. I mean, we know Swedish English in general is just phenomenal, right? It's definitely over average, above average a lot. And this is where I see it's not too much of a deal. It's not too much of a problem, whilst it's still a little thing, maybe a small, tiny flaw, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably not as severe as for some German teams where maybe English isn't going so well for you. Best example right now.
Don't say that. You're a little harsh to yourself.
A little bit.
Sometimes.
And also interestingly enough, HNS is used to be on the Gamers season 2 or 1.
True.
I'm not quite sure.
I think he was the guy who said when the girl interviewed the interview said to her how are you gonna perform? He said like nothing, and then he was drinking his drink, and then she said like yeah, but you've always lost, and then he was like he said he looked very much like he knew what he was just saying there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be surprised. It's gonna be a little bit of a kind of surprise. You're gonna we're gonna experience it with us, of course. I'm looking definitely forward to that. How will Vexed play it out against Tricked, and how will that one go in the end? Let's figure it out here on Train.
Here we can see the Gamers boy, HNS, buying the smoke. I'm not even sure it's the season 3 from Gamers. I think they just stopped after the 2nd season.
It was always, I never watched that.
I just watched like some episodes. I think the idea was nice, but yeah, let's leave it at that.
Said or we'll leave it like that. But Tricked, they don't really want to leave the B side. They rather want to enter it first of all. Aussie, Piff, as well as Vanity. Trying to keep that side closed. Aussie's going to be the first one, not hitting a shot. Taken out by Acor in the end. And this is Piff and Vanity striking. Vanity continues, but only can find himself 2. But Lookie's on his own. Can get that C4 down at least. But it's not enough as it seems to be. Lookie right now giving himself a good position. Could find a little more. Gets the player who might just come in from top, but doesn't in the end. And Quicks, as well as Piff, securing around for Vexed. Though quite a few casualties, as well as a bomb down for Trick, which logically helps them on an economic end.
Especially since Trick could go for a Navi buy. Yeah, 1 player missing, so probably we'll see a timeout shortly. Yeah. Yeah, so what Navi really likes to do is if they get the bomb down on the first round and still lose it, when you can see it, Lookie could be able to buy an AK with Western Helmet. Snedger or Borup or whoever wants it could drop an AK for his teammates, and his teammate would drop an Deagle or something like that, so they would have 3 AKs, some equipment, and could still devastate the economy from their opponents. So I really like the approach Navi has right now, and I hope that more teams are just taking the time and figuring out what you could do in such a buy, where you drop 2 AKs, buy 1 AK yourself, have 2 Deagles and some equipment. And look, and it seems like they are listening right now. 2 AKs dropped.
Interesting turn of things.
Snedger with the scout.
I think it's Snedger.
Ah, sorry.
Snedger. That sounds like a German sausage. Kann ich bitte haben einen Schnedger?
Ein Schnedger with Spätzle.
Das ist lecker. Das ist gut Schnedger. The gute Schnedger-Aufstrich. Anyway, Tricked using those free AKs as good as they can to once more try to take the control over there on the B site. Defended by Quicks mainly with Piff. Trying to be superior in long-range duels with that M4. Not quite sure how much Vexed got it on their paper that right now Tricked is coming in with AKs. That is a brutal aggression starting off with Lookie. Finds 1 Snedger's scout is successful as Lookie's AK, who finds himself a double, and Vanity and HNS can already return basically.
Yeah, we can just return to the headquarters of Gamers and take a seat on the couch.
Like our couch?
No, our couch is far superior.
Only Germans?
Only skillful and beautiful people.
Why is Donna on it?
Oof.
Shout out, shout out. No, no, no.
Big oof, big oof. Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, it worked out perfectly for Trick. They're just going for a contact play. We saw Vexed not really ready for Trick to go for this AK buy. And I mean, it's even superior. If you have 3 AKs, you have only 1 D, you have grenades, and on the other side, as a CT, if you're lucky, you can afford an M4. Most likely you will just buy an FAMAS, even maybe an SMG, and so you have a very good chance of winning this round. And now look at the economy of Vexed. They save 2 weapons. They're of course forcing right now.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I don't want to see that deja vu which we previously had back when we were seeing the lads of Sprout play ADLC, but we might just have that. Quick's trying his best to get a long-range duel done. Relax, Acre. Down to 16, and suddenly it is only Acre. Through the smoke, Quicks finds what he was looking for, grabs an AK afterwards. Back in 4th tier, Zini.
Yeah, well, I mean, they just went straight for a V hit. Normally you would see at least someone making some nice towards A. Maybe you just send one player out with some flashes over the A side to get some information instead of just going straight for a V hit.
Intrigued with that sort of buy. Having a bit of a deja vu they previously had in that round number 2. So basically, after just 4, more likely to be accurate, after just 3 rounds, we're having such weaponry on both teams. It's just a little weird if you think about it.
Ooh, the nade hitting quite well.
Swedish bombardment though, getting massive.
And I think Tricked haven't found the A side yet. Only going for a B push time and time again.
I mean, if you're familiar with the strat, it's probably the best idea. But at one point, the CTs will adapt to it. Aussie trying to find any player in this. Lucky as well as Acre. Those shut down 2, and the retake that shouldn't happen in this won't even be started. Not initiated, going back and falling back as far as possible from the actual bomb site B. So Vanity and HNS can keep those guns, and that's what's about to happen with both players.
So what I don't get quite yet is how, when we saw, so far Tricked always went for the B hit in the same way. This round, again, winning flawlessly. In the second round, also winning nearly flawlessly. And now, if you look at the last round, where Vexed only had just some force buy, they did the same B hit and just got crushed. So I don't know what Vexed needs to do. Maybe just play pistols. But yeah, Tricked really liking the B side.
I mean, if you enjoy something, you should get as much of it as possible. Yeah.
Like Schnettkers.
Like
a good Schnettker.
Good Schnettker. And I haven't had a Schnettker in a while. My grandmother used to do the best Schnetters. She makes it up with mashed potatoes.
I mean, maybe if Schnettker becomes one of the best players, there could be like some national dish.
Yeah. In 100 years, while we in Germany talk about e-gaming.
Yeah, e-gaming.
Classic.
Right.
Yeah, but a good Schnettker, you know, mashed potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of oregano to it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago. But a while ago, we already had this back in force. It was back on Nuke, where we saw something similar happening with LDLC and Sprout.
Yeah, we can see Tricked again, playing it slowly. Maybe not the best idea from Aussie to go for that duel in long range with his MP9. At least Vanity gaining mid control, and HNS needs to be careful. There are 2 players waiting for him on the Ivy. That's a classic combination. Smoke. Ah, okay, it's not even the classic combination, it's the more advanced combination where you smoke off in the middle and just Molotov in front of you. So you gain control of Ivy, and you can be sure that no one is close by around the corner. I mean, there are 2 ways to take Ivy control. One way would be to smoke off left or right side and Molotov the other side. But this way you can be sure that no one is close by. But I must say, Trick not really capitalizing on the smoke Molotov thrown beforehand. And now time is running out.
It does, but they still got the man advantage, and they try to use it as late as possible. There comes the first smoke. Getting popped off, isolated. Vanity, though, not having the focus, just expecting one player, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
Quicks, HNS, and Piff will try to somehow retake that A side. The bomb just needs to go down first of all. Quins. This doesn't even seem to struggle. Could just find another one who was waiting back there in the CT spawn, and that is Quicks. Hopes to get any heads player in just a second, switching over guns, and there he comes. Doesn't check it in time, which means that there is a free AK at least available for him. So 2 decent rifles, except Lucky is going to steal it away. It's not going to happen. Trick is losing another man. Their economy is allowing that, but not for too long. Quicks is feeling very cocky by now.
Yeah, I should better just save the AK. I mean, the question is right now for Vexed. I think they're going for eco. Maybe Quicks could drop a pistol so that his teammates have at least a deagle and can buy around those 2 weapons they saved. I mean, Trick so far not really relying on an AWP player. 5 AKs, but it seems to work, and it's a fast A hit right now. Probably Vex is ready for it. Quicks really blinded. Yeah, and Lucky finding the opening. It's only HNS left on the side by himself.
Poor guy. He's just becoming a victim instantly.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look that great for Vex in the beginning of this, but I think it will take some time until we really see them develop and get into the stage where we might just see them really becoming what they want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem very dedicated. Piff also bringing a lot of structure to the team. But by the way, what do you think is the animal on the Trick logo?
I thought it was some kind of bear.
It's a raccoon.
Ah. Yeah, it makes sense because raccoons are always tricking you.
They're described as very witty animals. Spore up with a very witty kill. Make it 2. Lucky. Continues. HNS head split into pieces. Tricked with a 5-2. Take a look at that again. So it's so beautiful. Gets the first head so nicely.
And nearly the third.
Nearly.
I mean, the awareness is really insane. Getting 2 kills and still you are flicking to the right side for the third player.
You're even having the realization that something like this is happening, and it's phenomenal in the end. Or right now.
I mean, what's unusual so far is both teams, also not even Vexed, are saving for an AWP. I mean, I think we didn't see 1 AWP in those 8 rounds yet.
No, not the case. But HNS, oh no, nearly does it. Nearly fails to at the same time. And I mean, talking about ops, usually it's Vanity who's playing the op with a bit of support, and as I open up my mouth, Vanity picks up the AWP. Same for Quicks, who actually is making a lot of sense given the IGL and the AWP, where you can micromanage a little more when you're having that scoped rifle. And right now, Trick just need 2 rounds to get the half already in their bag. And it depends how they try to make those Ivy players feel occupied, because they're annexing it just right this second. HNS needs to see, like, try to avoid those players coming close. And did you see the coordination? He just knew how to throw the Molotov without getting it extinguished. It was so close, not by though.
And that's also a great answer from HNS, because now he just denied the information for both players. They wasted a smoke and a Molotov, and HNS still able to hold off Ivy, while in the meantime Quicks finding Borup on the B side and already rotating a little bit to the connector. They can help out A faster. Yeah, and Snetka, we can see that not quite sure if they're gonna go for a B hit. Yes, the bomb, so he needs to be careful not to drop it.
I love how he just took his last name as his nickname. Guy's called Simon Snetker. His in-game tag is Snetker. Not checking the usual corners. That is allowing Vexed to get this round with ease. But can Lucky move through without being taken out by Piff, who has to check two angles? The Molotov appears, but he can just move out, barely taking any damage. But the Yawps there, and Aker should have no chance in making this one his own. That's not happening. Rotating away. Saving the AK? Not necessarily. He doesn't need to do so, but it just comes wide. Oh no, Aker doesn't even find that. Would have been too insane, but
yeah,
can't deny it. X with a third, but a lot of money left in the bank accounts for Tricked.
Yeah. But also a flawless round for Vexed, so that's always a good thing for them. That means if they lose one round, they're not completely broke. Although they needed to invest a little bit in those grenades again. So Vexed maybe with the comeback, especially with, I think, the ops were missing before. Now they got two ops, one on B and one on A side. And we can already see Tricked running into some problems. And their default seems to be just playing to Ivy, getting some Ivy control. It's again the combination. This time HNS not answering with a smoke himself. And Tricked probably gathering. Or an A execute.
Oh, no.
The nade. It's perfect.
Nate bounces off his chest, lands directly underneath his feet. When you take that much damage, you're an easy target for those terrorists who are right now moving out of A main. Aussie got to be the one who has the supervision of things, gets taken out in the end, but the man advantage still exists, and they're for the side of Vex, and they're just extending that. They should know there's an electric player there. He's going to be Molotoved off. HNS might utilize it. It's Vanity doing so, and this is great coordination, because now only Snetker stays alive, and his AWP probably won't seal the deal in that case. He has to find 4 in 40 seconds, but he goes aggressive. The only real threat for him right now would be HNS, as one player is coming over there from Ivy, pushing through, which is Quicks. And now scoped in, he moves. This is the duel off the Opper. Snetker needs to check the other sides. Quicks. A shot for the spine, making him disabled, not move, and dead in the end.
And Tricked slowly but surely getting low on money. Snetka investing in the op again, so no money left for him. And still Vanity and Quicks, they keep the double up. And this time it looks like a fast A fake with some smokes. And the players, are they going towards B side? I'm not quite sure what they're doing. They've threw two fast smokes towards A. Maybe they wanted to bait out some equipment from the CTs, but now they're slowing down again.
Aussie right now, though, being a quite easy one. Trying to hunt that down just a bit, as he might be the perfect prey for those trick players.
Yeah, Tricked really biding their time. We see Quins now late in the round taking mid control. It's gonna be a hit. We can see everyone rotating towards the A side, even Ivy player moving back towards mid. It's a full aggression from only 2 spots. 1 pop dog and 3 in the middle.
Tricked with those patient plays, I think they're realizing that it seems that Vax is very well coordinated most of the time when they're trying to do it very fast-paced. The utility usage is sometimes something I'm kind of missing from them, which would really disable Vexed in all their opportunities. And Quinn's right now trying to make any kind of duel with this could get the C4 down as nobody's nearby. And he will. And Snetker's op could be a useful tool and a lethal one. Talking about it, finds Piff. Both players now standing in connector. This is where an Aussie is an easy one for a Quins, because just a few bullets into his chest and the man will follow his previous dying teammates on the ground in the coffin. Aussie trying to make it fake though. Sniper hitting a shot, a single one that makes it work. Tricked still taking this. And you had the man advantage, you still didn't try to take the control over the site that should have been yours.
Yeah, but great picks from Setke, especially the first pick we saw. They did the boost on the pallets to see over the train, and I think they found a player covering Ivy. So yeah, in the end, it all works out quite well. And train is a map where you need to do these late executes, because then you can be sure that the CTs don't have that many grenades left, no Molotovs probably, maybe just 1-2 smokes, and yeah, because if you go instantly for execute, there will be some Molotovs and smokes being thrown your way.
Oh, and Aussie, I think this is not the first time he's taken that position. Lucky has having an awareness, but the op from Quicks is fulfilling its purpose. That A smoke wall is massive, but it doesn't stop anyone right now on the side. Not quite sure. The Max 7 has been a great tool in this, and Quins is utilizing it. 8-4, Tricked, this half belongs to you.
But we can see Tricked adapting to the double AWP setup. So beforehand, Tricked really went for those peaks, for those entries, for the contact plays. And this time around, they just play the smoke wall. They know the AWP can probably not do that much damage in the beginning. And yeah, so well played from Tricked so far, also tactically. And now we can see Vexed need to do at least one eco. And even on the next round, they probably won't be able to buy an AWP.
He can find himself too, gets himself a third. The eco is where you can boost your stats. And they're all passing left, right, and center, trying to just circle those players during this round. And now it starts to matter. As we see, he's looking just average there on the side of Vexed. I mean, they get a little bit of utility for themselves. We don't see a single kit. We don't see a single helmet. They got to make it count in round number 14.
Yeah, I mean, helmets are not that important on the C side because you're playing against AK, so a headshot is a headshot. But what's more problematic is the missing AWP on the side of Vexed. So if you remember the first few rounds where there was no AWP, they had no chance getting anywhere. And they had 2 AWPs in the previous round, and now we see Acer finding Aussie. Yeah, and Tricked again playing for more or less the contact play. 2 players sneaking up Ivy, bomb still towards B. So maybe it's gonna be a B split with 2 players trying to come from behind towards B side.
And Tricked seem to shake off the rust of themselves as they start off not the best shape.
Oh, and 3 players taking on the B side. I think someone pushed into middle, so they know. Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't work though. The aggression, when you have the kind of idea and you lean so many players towards the side, that doesn't 100% make sense to me. Arger then finds himself Piff, but a very wounded Aker then is taken out, and Snetker, as well as his teammate Luki, they flank, and for sure Vanity knows. Find the beautiful hatchet onto him, flicks just directly on his head, and now it just comes down to H and S. The man doesn't have a kit, the man doesn't have a Molotov, but he has the idea when one of those players is standing, he just can get the bomb down anyway. And with this bomb being planted, it gets a little tricky right now for the team. Snetker finds an H&S who looks in a total different direction as he was trying to get a bit of a different angle. Snetker scored a kill in each of the last 6 rounds. That's what I call consistency.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of Quicks. I think Quicks didn't lose the round personally, but his peak didn't help. So they knew that no one was setting up towards A side. They knew it's gonna be a B hit. Why would Quicks just peek? Why not play passively, let the T's come your way and just trade it out? So his peak was a little bit problematic, I would say. Especially when you know the B hit is coming, you just wait and bide your time and let the terrorist come your way.
A few rounds it took until Trick understood the weakness of the setup of their opponent. Quicks a very interesting push here towards Pop Ducker. Still one player scored in that position, and Aussie is leaving it down to Piff. Deagle in his hands, a dream in his mind. A death coming his way. 11-4, and well, Tricks are taking a quite good lead right now here on Train. Their map, their decision, so far only played it against Nexus and Wendigo. Right now here with this lineup. So we can't even say too much about it. Previously speaking about Tricked as well as this map, though, when we take a more specific look in statistics, you can actually realize that when it comes down to Train, they're, well, quite decent on it. 15 times played, on it 11 out of 15. That's something you can call very decent. Very, very, very consistent as well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in this half, especially T side is, normally I would say Train is a map, probably the most CT-sided map we have right now in CSGO. And to get 11 rounds on the T side, it's quite
a scoreline, definitely. I mean, winning against teams like Alternate Attacks previously, also Tempest Storm, and for example, there's also Nexus on the line, which some might know, one of the, I think, the best Romanian team, saying it like that. A guy like Cosmine came from that team. He used to play at Epsilon, for example. So that says something about you. Whilst Vex is most likely operating in the shadows. I mean, the team plays EC Advanced. They're right now in this post-league thing where they can advance into MDL technically. But these are the names. Disband 123 is one of the team names. And Seek Orc.
What were the stats from Vexed in the Advanced? Can you see the overall stats?
No, because they're in the postseason. I think or league history. Yeah, 9 wins, 7 losses.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Advanced as a team, it's not what you're looking for.
No, I mean on that level, for sure not. But right now, Tricked switching over to the defending sites. Can Snetker, Borup, and Co. now deliver us that easy 16-4? Or will Vexed just stand up once more, get on their feet, and put Tricked in the position they would like them to see? Because that Vexed train is moving towards the B site very fast, and Lucky instantly getting dinged away. Same goes for Quinn, who still tries to stay alive, sneaks a little too early. No one can really connect those shots. Aker somehow finds it, nearly gets to another one, but gets himself HNS. That was a little too tight for the moment, but it's 3 versus 3. Piff got a right angle, and he picked it quite well. Continues with the one onto Aker, and Snetker starts off with a shot that perfectly fitted into the face of Aussie, but retaking this, it should be on paper impossible. Can bait out one player, but now he announced himself that he doesn't defuse anymore. He comes closer, can't make the shot work on the Piff. Bomb down, money there. Tricked. They have to go for that eco.
Yeah, and of course they're not going for eco because I'm sitting right beside the Jinx Master. We see 2 scouts on Snetker and Aker, both on scouts. Yeah, I mean, why not? They have some wiggle room to lose some rounds, so maybe hoping for the best. Maybe they can surprise Vexed. the probably themselves will think they are going for an eco on the city side. Although look, I mean, Vexed are playing very passive so far. Just holding the angles, hoping that maybe Trick will push into them. Maybe they are planning some crazy push, so they want to play it safe, and now they start sneaking towards Ivy with 2 players. We can see probably HNS trying to get down to ladder.
Yeah, Nazi right now. Getting a few supporter shots from behind, but his entire team taking a lot of time with it. There it starts off with Acre being taken out, and Orb will try to take the height advantage, but should be taken out from behind in just a second. Oh, nearly drops the nade onto him, but that's not enough. Snetker and Luki will be the last and final 2 individuals in this where Scout isn't enough. ZZ probably won't be either, as 5 players just come storming onto the side, survive all flawlessly.
Yeah, so we'll see just 1 more eco for Tricked, and after that round, they should be able at least to buy an AWP, which could be important for them. And it's 5 people stacking on the A side. And probably Quicks just pushing out for information.
Look how scattered. Look, they're really standing like a pack together on that side.
Oh yeah, he thought of this one.
Trying that. Snetker getting at least 1 frag against Quicks is a great start of things. There's another thing happening. Suddenly, the MP5 starts to make the alarm bell ring a little louder. Vanity wants to go for the spray there against Snetker. Puts him down to 30, but he grabbed himself a free AK. And players are coming for connectors. A very unusual side right now that terrorists are aggressing through that position, but this Acre see the bomb in a second. Oh no, Acre. Oh, he saw him. He definitely saw him and he dinks him away. Does Snetker though realize that bomb thing? If he checks his left hand, Snetker he just passed the C4.
Yeah.
Oh no. But the question is, do they expect him? Or he possibly just hopes that the players are moving that direction. Acre slowly but steady goes in that direction. Snetker just waits. Oh, Snetker might get the lineup. Snetker, no, he got the wrong angle of this. But can he find both? He can at least find one. That was not the C4 though. And that is just 10 more seconds right now. Piff has to get that C4 down. And I somehow see him winning this. Because both of his opponents don't have a single bit of armor. They're waiting for each other, hoping that they can do it coordinated. There's the first one coming on his own. And now it needs to be Acre.
Yeah, maybe Snetker way too patient. I mean, he saw the first one not aiming his way. I even think he got stuck somewhere because it looked like he tried to jump out of the position and wasn't able to move. That's so crucial. I mean they won the round.
That's true. They did a lot of damage towards Vex, but the thing is, if what we've seen there, it would have been very phenomenal if they just peeked together. Or just said like, okay, one guy comes in from the catwalk upstairs, another one from downstairs, the ramp, and they just push together and it would work because, well, there's only one position he can be at right now. So we both see him and then we get him.
Yeah, I think in the 1v2 they thought maybe one could just jump out, and they hoped that Piff would maybe turn around, expecting the second player somewhere else, because as you just described, normally you would play with 2 players pushing out, trading the kill. But Piff playing it really cool. Getting the 1v2. Acre.
That's a beautiful
nice
start.
Entry.
The aggression there pays off.
Yeah.
Against Vexed. Now Lucky. This time where you send a message to your teammates, it might get a little hairy on the B side in just a second. And Lucky can't connect on any of those players. Net can now keep it on very passive angles. Hopes that any players will just come for the aggression. And we see right now one is already coming in from behind. It's Twins. down to 21 HP, still finds himself one. The nade doesn't pay off, but Aker, the investment of an AWP pays off for him as Piff is now on his own and needs to find 4 Danes. We're all around him. First one to come.
What?
And Aker is just a flying Danishman. One upshot makes it count, and Tricked is on number 12, whilst Vexed has an okay economy of this. Piff on 5.3, but the majority doesn't look that brilliant when you take a look at their wallets.
I mean, yeah, you could argue Aker somewhat carrying right now for Tricked. If you look at the scoreboard right now, Aker with I think 24 kills, and next one would be I think Snetker with only 15.
That's a major difference. Piff following the excuser rules. Using an SG553 as good as he can.
I have high hopes for Piff in this round.
I do as well. An HNS, Aussie, Quicks, Vanity, and Piff. What can they deliver us? And there it comes. Borb needs to now show us a little more of that. Vanity finds Borb in the end. Snetker arrives a little late to the party. As the majority of Trick Dust. There's once more Aker coming in with a quite good shot. It could be just more. He's getting his for his team. As Trick right now would need a consecutive round, but there's a flank coming in from Quicks, and now you need to see how easy can he get on the site. Quince comes in with one. There's another one now at this position of connector. He announced himself a little early, and if he can fight the player on site, that would be phenomenal. Vanity doesn't see a thing, but gets the spray, and Vex is on number 8.
I mean, very optimistic from Quince to just flash into the side and go for the fuse. And now Vexed even with a double upset but on T side, which is very uncommon. You see Quicks and Vanity on the up. Yeah, and Trick right now. Economy is broke again, but probably just one eco, and then they will be able to buy again 2 ups if they want to. Vanity finding an opening on Borup. And this round should be over soon.
Now for USPS. You can try as much as you want, but Aker doesn't stop giving. The only one who found a frack in this, and yeah. Aker is 36% of the entire frags of Tricked. Not really surprised, honestly.
No.
He's grabbing a quite decent rifle out of this round of the AW3. 27-13. We're just in round number 21. Should drop the 30 bomb anytime soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it looks like some of his teammates need to step up their game right now, because unless Acer is getting 3k or 4k in each round, doesn't look too good for them.
Unbelievable, and he stays defensive in this. Keeps his op alive. There comes the body shot. No problem. Falls back like, oh, I lost power. It's like you in the gym. It's like you after the gym. Like, I got no power anymore.
That's true.
And you're falling in your bed. It's like exactly like that. The following day you complain about your arm. Or any other body part. You exercise very hardly.
Yeah, now the double op set up on the side of Tricked. We see Snetker and Aker. Yeah, and Vex again playing really slow at the timing. Borup just picking up the nade. A little bit of unlucky for him. At least the Molotov is not getting bugged. And Borup, yeah, regains the pop-dog control. Yeah, so Vex are going for a B hit right now. Oh, and Lucky needs to deliver. And Loco my Lucky.
Lobanjika was also at Gamers, by the way.
Who?
Lobanjika?
Ah, yeah. I think I
Loco
saw that. I saw that episode.
Good old Loba. But right now, comes down the players from Denmark to resolve the situation as it gets a little trickier bit by bit. Quins and his team seem to be more into doing that very passively. Snedker's didn't see the head. It looked like it was just coming into his scope for maybe a few centimeters, but then Borup dies in the end, and Quins needs to keep that rifle just to himself.
So I don't know if we're just seeing an anomaly or if both teams just have a very strong T side. Yeah, because normally, as I said before, normally Train is one of those maps where you consistently win on a city side, but both teams seem to struggle. And it's again the next eco for Tricked. I mean, Tricked only have won one CT round so far.
And that's not that much. Well, on Train, it's really weird. So far, they didn't send an NRK yet. Snedker. And running on the side, trying to see if he can find anything with that. Quinn should stay alive, keep that M4 in his hands. With those M4 in his hands, he would just definitely benefit from this. But at the end of the day, Vex is coming closer and closer. Loki's getting a free rifle, and Quince is losing it. Oh, Loki is coming over with a nasty free kick, make that 4. But there's no kit. But he gets a lot out of this round, and possibly the ace if he's hungry. The man is hungry. 5 out of 5 he gets himself.
I mean, it's a good boost for economy for Trick, especially the op. Always a little bit expensive. But Vex didn't suffer too much from all 5 players dying. They still have some money left. Although, I think it could be interesting if Trick is able to win 2 consecutive rounds. Especially those ace from Lucky can be important in the long run. Rushing the economy of Vexed.
Oh, but take a look at this. Okay, Snedker goes a little bit more aggressive. I mean, they got their guard regarding Ivy. With the lovely Vanity holding it. But
I see the team headshot already coming. No way!
he looks away in that second, and Snedker finds 2. There was the Molotov coming around, and for some reason, then he just looked away.
Sneaky Snedker. Sneaky Snedker.
The good sneaky Snedker, but right now Piff is at least decimating Vex a little. And now they need to be pretty adamant if they want to get on any of those bomb sites. Right. HNS and his Echo Tides move down the sides. Lucky and Borup just line it up. Bringing Vex not down to their knees yet, but definitely buy-wise. Nothing the best happening.
And look right now, so if you remember Lucky with his ace 2 rounds ago, if he wouldn't have aced that round, Vexed probably would have enough money to buy. And so even after winning 1 round, Tricked are able to break the economy of Vexed, especially 2 that ace Lucky did last round of the CZ and the op in the end.
It was crazy how he just done that. Felt quite casual to him. Those Deagles, they probably won't too much damage. This is at least what you can expect right now.
Yeah, it looks like a B explode again and again for players.
There comes HNS. Takes a lot of damage out of this. Aussie Quicks, Vanity, and Piff will see where they will land. We're just talking about long range frag from Acre over there towards Ivy. And you see how the players instantly make a move, but I think it's not going to be directly towards Ivy. That would be a little too surprising. Quinn stays back there in Pop Dock, and there's 50 more seconds for Vex to do something about this.
There's still 2 players on B side, so they were faking the steps towards the A side, hoping that only 1 player would stay on the B side. You can see Lucky and his teammate both holding the angle, but now the rotate is coming in, maybe a little bit too late.
That's just enough. That's just enough. Oh, but then at least an Aussie comes in. They know one player is just very nearby, and the bomb plan would help them out a lot on an economic basis, and they allow Aussie to exactly get that. C4 on the ground needs to be defused, and is the Eagle not lethal enough anymore?
Yeah, now it's up to Vexed. I mean, 14 to 11. Only 2 more rounds missing for Tricked. But at least, especially with the bomb plant, Vexed should be able to have a quite decent buy. I expect on at least one up. Yep, there it is. But it's Quicks on the up, and he has no helmet, which could be interesting since there's some M4s in play on the city side, and they're going for a fast mid push. Or trying at least. They're trying successfully. Vanity and Piff opening up the A side, and it looks like Vex is right back into the game and Tricked. They should be saving those weapons. They don't have much money left.
No, not too much left in their bank accounts. I mean, Quinn, Snetker, and Borb can still make up for it, but especially those two individuals, they don't have too much left in their back pocket. So sticking to that AK and the M4 would be quite crucial. Vexed is coming closer to beating Tricked, but still the lead is there.
I really like the change of pace from Vex in this round. So they used to play, especially in the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 rounds, a very slow style, always defaulting, always fighting the time, and in the end, maybe starting to execute. And now they just straight up A rush, and we saw Tricked. They nearly fell asleep because they were just used to this really slow playstyle from Vex in the previous rounds.
President Tricked. Well, it's 2 more until the tie is there for Vexed. And this is where it matters so much for Tricked. Because right now, the majority of the players are under $1,000 on the bread line, as they didn't get enough of that yet. So it comes down to Quince and Co. to shut them down. Beginning good. That's going to be a Snetker. Eliminated.
And we can see Vex right now. Probably it's gonna be a B hit. We already see one player from Ivy rotating towards the B side, and it's maybe even gonna be a contact play. I'm not sure if Vanity is just holding the angle or going for a peek. Oh, he's going for a peek, but will he spot Lucky right under him? Oh, another B hit.
Oh no, and this is once more, as you say, the B hit, but Lucky is able to connect onto a third, and those frags were so goddamn necessary. Makes it a 4th. And now it's only Quicks to find. The man pushes out. The time is actually quite good. I mean, didn't need to do it that way, but Borb is there to snatch the ace away from Lucky. But there's the 4K for this man. And he kind of saves the day here for the team.
And also perfect read from Tricked. So they lost, I think, the first player on the B side, trying some aggression on the high ramp. And then they stacked with 3 people on the B side. So more or less just saying, hey, let's gamble, let's just take 3 people B. They probably maybe try to take B side because they will think we have only 1 player on B left after finding an opening kill on B. And they just right into the trap from Tricked. You could say Vex got tricked.
Very well said, you're seeing. Very well said, they got tricked, bamboozled.
Raccooned. Probably there's no word like raccooned.
I guess it doesn't exist now.
Not yet.
On the other hand, Quinn's starting to get the man with the name so close to him. Quicks. Quinns might just continue. Goes in. That was a little too risky. And you get punished for that. Gotta make an atonement because that was a sin. And HNS just continues with that. Vanity comes also from behind, and suddenly it's only Snetker and Lucky. You could save the day, but with those guns, with that equipment, rather keep it to yourself.
I mean, both teams are low on money right now. It would be a good thing if Strict were able to get at least maybe 2 more weapons out of the hand of Vexed. And I don't know, that Tricked will probably force next round. I mean, they could go for eco, but then they would need 2 ecos. Lucky finding Vanity. And Vexed shouldn't really go for a hunt because they don't have money themselves. And Vexed are not allowed to make any mistakes. Only 1 round missing for Tricked to close our train.
I love this stop sign up there. Come on, take a look. There. Up there.
With the person with the hand.
With the massive hand. Yeah. Like, it's twice his head.
Yeah.
The size of his hand. But it's a, like, stop. Don't go on
Hammer
the A
time.
side. Hammer time. That's also. Why isn't there any Counter-Strike professional called Hammer time?
why would there be? I mean, it's a great name. I agree, but
yeah, I mean, imagine you have stickers of a guy called Hammer Time.
I mean, you're right.
That would be like 100% selling 24/7.
Yeah, you're right. And it would be the perfect name for every caster out there.
Maybe I should call myself Hammer Time.
Yeah.
But I've already never thought about it. Well, it might be just time to stop for Vexed in case Tricked wants to go further in this. Talking about it very, very open. They'll leave that Ivy position. They don't even pay attention to that section of the map, and they just give Vexed all the opportunities they like to have. And Ozzy doesn't want to stop either. Finds free. Could just connect onto more, but Lucky, not the savior today.
And it really looks like it could be the first overtime. Yeah, we'll see so far, because if you look at the money from Trick right now, there is not that much left. I mean, look, you will be able to buy. He could even drop an AK, but his teammates, especially Aker, Snetger, and Borup, will barely have money for a UMP and some equipment, maybe even the FAMAS. But it's not the buy you want to have in the last crucial round.
No, definitely not. I mean, Aker's really not been doing too many frags recently in the last few rounds. It was mainly Lucky having the spotlight on himself. And this is where Vex actually might just put this into overtime. Not unrealistic it is. Definitely not. And so far, it's a pause we're going into. Tricked, using this for final conversation. As also when we take a look on the scoreboard, someone who didn't step up so far for 30 rounds, that was Borup.
Yeah.
11-18. But he uses your favorite gun at least.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus
Now
Christ.
they need to win.
I mean, it's a favorite gun, but on a city side on train, you can try to play at close range, but the only problem is if your enemies don't come to you, you have a big problem. This weapon, Borup. Yeah.
It's a little weird that he doesn't really
Yes,
come up with anything in that one.
yeah, underperforming right now. At
The
least,
Issa.
at least some nice skin with some stickers. So it's always
Promising. You know this man plays this gun very often if you buy the skin for it.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's see what the XM10.
Come on,
What's he
Borup.
gonna tell about this? Nothing. That's already it. Bye-bye to that gun, and HNS take the control. Seems like Snetger might just do a bit of damage control. Misses the op shot, but it could be just more to come. Unfortunately for him, it just passes. It's a shot into his chest, just through the wall. Opponent is just directly up above him. Keeps his attention there, and next, have an 11 and 23 HP player. That's a beautiful nade. Could just go for that Molotov. Does it right. He's not allowed to move. Oh, but Quixie just burns last second. 15-15. We got the overtime. The first one in the United Masters League.
I'm so happy for Vex right now. I mean, they brought the game back from. I mean, they brought themselves back from the dead. I mean, it was 12-3 or 11-2. No, it was 11-4 in the first half, and Trick not really able to close out the round.
I mean, you hate to see it as Tricked. I mean, you were fighting very hard, and then in the end, you get shut down like this.
Yeah. What we've seen especially, I mean, Lucky and Ace are the only two really performing well on the side of Tricked. Also on the city side, we had, I think, Acer and Lucky both each having 7 rounds with 2 or more kills. I mean, 32 frags for Acer, and still not enough.
That's a lot. Aker really with those 32, and the team still struggling to find anything in this. It's a bit of a shame as he struggles with that.
So we probably will be seeing.
No.
Oh,
Poor Piff.
I guess it's max round 3 with starting money than 10,000. What we see most of the time. Although I say I'm personally a fan of start money 12,500, so that in the case that one team wins the first 2 rounds, normally the losing team has to do even an eco, which is kind of.
I mean, 16
sad.
is a little too much to me, very honestly.
So yeah, 16 is too much, so I think at 12,500 is just the right amount of money, that not everyone is buying 5 orbs all the time, and you still can buy even in the 3rd round.
That's true. Let's take a look how that one will go. Because, well, so far, Trick had many opportunities in winning this.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it, which is a shame, but very much their own fault. So let's see if Vexed are right now able to bring us what they deserve, and that would be a win right here on Train. They fought that hard way not to just lose that one now against the guys with the raccoon on the chest. Smoke.
Oh, missing smoke.
Not throwing that well. HNS was not able to get that one done. But as you said, very unusual to see that the CT side was the weaker one in this. That was a fancy flashback.
Yeah. I mean, Quince took that flashback really in and still managed to get the frag. Now Snapper seeing 2 players crossing middle.
How is he going to react to it? 100%
okay.
right, he does. Gets himself another frag onto Quince. Manatee is the final one. It all just works out for Trick out of nowhere. This is a classic Finn overtimes, right? Suddenly it all works. You don't really need to understand why, but suddenly it all works. And this means Trick is taking lead in overtime number 1 of this best of 2 series. Where we start on Train, and next up see a map we haven't seen in the United Masters League yet, Inferno.
Yeah, you're right. And Inferno is normally a map you always see.
Exactly, it's a very normal map, you could say. Not like Nuke.
Yeah.
Not like Train necessarily. Make it right now, though. The thing is if Trick finds this round, their opponent is economically looking quite bad. Nearly abysmal, you could say. Acre with 1, Acre with 2. Those 2 frags necessary for Trick to take the Ivy control. Might be just a peek that Quicks will do in a second as the Molotov comes closer, but he can evade over the back right-hand sides. Smoke's popping. Quick falling. And that is now an C4. Known, but nobody really rotating. Not necessary, it seems to be. Finding one after another anyway.
And a great team play by Snetger and Acre at the same time. So we saw both players pushing through the smoke. And Snetger just baiting for Acre, who found 2 frags and is the 3rd. And in the end, it's Snetger to close the round. Yeah, so Acre, I mean, nearly 40 frags for him. He could be able to drop the 40 bomb. Only 4 more kills.
You think that Wiener Schnitzel in danger is called Snetke Schnitzel?
I hope so.
Oh no, we're missing that Molotov big time. It goes deep, barely does too much damage. But Vexed are raiding right now, and they seem to go for a very Spartanic approach when it comes down to the tactical side of things. Orb now. Team players coming in from left, right, and center. He's finding himself too, making his at least man equalized. I'm not quite sure if Snetker saw the feet though, but someone is trying to come close. There's actually the Molotov taking away HNS. Didn't have the awareness that flames were just nearby, so Ozzy and Vanity are the only two. This should be now Lucky finding one. He does so, and the A main player is the final individual in this. Now spotted, peek together, and you got him. The AWP does it in the end, and there will be Trick finishing this off 18-15 on the site where they, and this is now the funny part, only found 4 rounds. And now they found 3 in a row. Yeah. Unusual.
But let's wait, I mean, they still need 1 more round. And we know what can happen. Especially, I mean, Trick already played a solid CT side, so their problem was on the T side.
It's true.
No, sorry.
Other way around. That's why.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We've been playing for so long, or they've been playing for so long. It's an up and down.
Old man.
Yeah.
Where did your memory go?
But you're right. It's a classical thing where you have no chance of winning any city rounds, and then you go to the overtime, and suddenly it's a perfect 3-0.
It's weird.
Yeah.
True. Just one more trick. You finished that half 11-4 as a terrorist.
Yep.
On paper, nothing should stop them. Just talking about on paper, of course. As the pause is now coming in, Vexed. There's only one chance to win train right now.
Yeah, and we can see Vanity still waiting with his spy, so maybe they're discussing if they're going for a double AWP setup or...
Auto-sniper.
Or auto-sniper, Doomhammer.
The Doomhammer?
Didn't you see the thing with Smuya? That's how he called his auto-sniper.
Right, I remember. Wasn't that also this kind of drama around it?
Yeah, around mouse person thing. Yeah.
Drama these days. Where's the yellow press when you need it? I don't know any yellow press for Counter-Strike.
Maybe there will be someday BuzzFeed, Counter-Strike BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I would like to revise BuzzFeed.
Which Counter-Strike player are you? And you can do it like this.
Who would you be?
I would like to be simple, but I'm more or less, I would say...
A random German Div 2 player.
Yeah.
No, I would like to be... I think I would like to be Aloe. He seems to be the type of guy to be. Well, Ozzy just going a quite fast peek. Poor Twix is getting a shot into his chest while Sporup is playing nearby. When does he see or hear the barrel? He sees the head, taps him away. That's accuracy. There's now the Ivy player taken away because he wanted to move around, couldn't do it in the end, and suddenly the man advantage is there. Does Ozzy have the idea? He does, but Borup denies him previous to that. That means Piff and Vanity, the only ones to make their team recover, but Piff can work around the smoke, leaves his teammate though alone. And Vanity shouldn't stand a chance in this. On paper, Vanity shouldn't be able to find that one. Now he even announced himself. There is a player nearby, and you shouldn't get cocky right now. Your opponent still has a quite lethal rifle. Talking about it. There he finds the no-scope. There might be more to come. He wants to just use it without the right-click. Who needs that anyway? Who needs right-click? It doesn't even matter. Might just see him. Might just get him. And there's one more to come. Snetker, you just need to play this one calmly. You don't need to do much about it and stay behind Electric. The flashbang comes around. And Snetker, can he deny it or not? Because there's no kid onto Vanity. Time is running away. And he just denies him in the end. No scope. Then just pressing no right click anymore and then finding the frag. For some reason it worked quite far. Vanity and his team struggle though. Go to 15-15 and Trick then, well, they seal the deal.
Yeah, I mean, Tricked looked really promising in the beginning. 11-4 on the T side, especially on train, really strong. And on the C side themselves had some real struggles, especially since they early on had the double op set up and still it didn't work out quite well. In the end, in the overtime, I don't know what they changed, but somehow it all worked out pretty fine. And yeah, for 0 in the overtime, looks okay.
Solid. Very solid. Well, we're going to have a solid Inferno as well. We're going to see that in just a second. Tricked is going to play against Vexed on a debut of a map here in the United Masters League. So stick tuned.
Let's go.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. Where knowledge is limited, imagination encircles the world.
Welcome back to the United Masters League. First overtime, check. First time Inferno, check. First time seeing Tricked and Vexed. Oh, also check. We're having a lot of debuts here at the second match day of our UML. That was actually weird what we have just experienced here. Vexed showing us what they're made of when it comes down to comebacks.
Yeah.
Really showing the thrill and the will, which is nice to see, of course. But Trick had an 11-4 half, and this is like 5 rounds away from winning. And then they just struggle and struggle and struggle. This is really not what you want to see when a team should close out a map quite easily.
Yeah, especially on Train. I think Train was their map pick. Yeah, and they even started on the T side, so they had 11 frags on the T side. But now it's Inferno. Maybe they can, do the same and start with a strong half.
Let's see if that's going to be the case. HNS going full speed down to Banana, where that full speed might just pay off in case Acre doesn't find shots. Elma at least goes for Vanity, so that's something that goes according to plan. Snatker, no, we can't connect that one onto HNS. Super unfortunate for him. Well, let's stay agog how they just try to retake that, because they don't have a kit. They got a Quince on single point of health. Piff holding it back together with his Aclatites. As right now, one CT player spotted, another one. Piff was just peeking once left, right, and this should just belong to Vex. Straight up, their map pick works out in the beginning quite alright with a 1-0 start.
Yeah, so Trick not able to repeat the first half on Train so far. We can see that again forcing, so it's very interesting. At least what they are doing, they have 4 smokes, so maybe they're going for what I call Astralis or Spy, where they buy many smokes and they only smoke off as a reaction from a smoke of the terrorist. So for example, they wait and exactly now I see the smoke coming in the middle, Borup with the anti-smoke but pushing through the smoke himself and getting killed in the process. And now Snetker. Oh, it's a double hit. Look at HP on the everyone nearly down to low HP.
Too much Snetker has just dealt there. The back and forth we previously had might just continue. And Acre, he's feeling it right now with that Deagle. C4 is going to down anyway.
Yeah, Quince was able to get an AK, and I think they're just going for the save. Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe Acre hoping to find an AK for himself. And now he's going for a save. Yeah, so now I think what Trick was going for, we saw how Borup, as soon as the smoke popped in the middle, he just smoked, or tried to smoke them off himself. But we saw Vexed not caring about the smoke, just pushing through it. Because normally, as a terrorist side, if you know the enemies don't have that much money, you don't like to push for smokes.
No, that's of course very sense making. But I mean, in the end, Vexed found the round.
Yep.
Way too many casualties. 2 AKs also brought into the game right now from Trick. Helpful. You can call that really helpful right now.
Yeah, and we can see Acre and Quince both, I think, dropping some pistols for their teammates, so that at least they have something to work with.
And they stay on a 2K as well, so that buy in the next round is guaranteed.
Exactly.
Smoke's coming. Quince.
Okay.
He's shooting a little late there. Maybe doesn't want to give his position away. That was my initial thought, but now he obviously did. Didn't hit anyone. And Vexed are surrounding the site, but they're not even interested in A. Just say, whatever. I'm not even a gawk to see what's happening there. Directly want to go B. And the obsession from the A sites makes the poor Snetker the only guy to do anything about this position. Can't do much than just a few shots onto Piff. Man is down to 39, but Vexed, they got the control.
Yeah, Vanity hoping to find someone who's trying to rotate, but you can see Trick just holding a position, hoping that Vex will come towards them, and they can maybe pick up 2 more weapons. Especially Vanity should just be passive and let Quicks and Aussie play with those Mech 10s. Getting some kills, farming some money.
The good Doja Nate. I know it was something Italian back there. It says something good in Italian. I don't remember because of that nade. I don't remember it entirely anymore. But it was something. I love the language. I just don't know it anymore. That bothers me the most. I've learned so much in my Italian class back then. But my
Where did you learn Italian? In school?
school, yeah.
Oh, okay, we didn't have that option.
We
only had French and English and Latin.
No. We had like science as a class.
Yeah.
Like I think at 10th grade. No, in 8th grade we had science. Or you pick Spanish or Italian.
Ah, okay.
Right, and I had English, of course, for starting 1st grade. Then we had Latin, 6th grade. I picked Italian, 8th grade. Yeah, but I barely speak Latin or Italian, so.
But you didn't have French.
No, I could have picked French instead of Latin, but I picked Latin.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, I was
choice.
I was into that languages, you know.
Okay.
Felt good about it. Because what's dead can't bother you anymore. And that should be the motto for Trick, because Vexed, they weren't dead the entire time, and they bothered them a lot. 3-0 start. That British-Swedish team got to themselves. And it seems that they're going to continue that way.
And we see Vexed playing the banana control we see normally from Fnatic with one deep smoke and one Molotov, and it's gonna be the fast B hit. Acer missing a shot, and HNS instantly finding Quins.
Oh, and that was a beautiful one, but it was not in time. That C4 is down anyway. But Vexed, a very B-focused team. That right now brings Trick to the decision to just stay away from that site. Keep those guns to yourself.
I really like the fast playset from Vex. I mean, they're not losing any time. We saw them. It's a default banana control where you smoke off a little bit deeper and Molotov car. And it just went straight for the explode on the B side. Especially when you explode and your A player is missing his first shot. It's not the best thing you could hope for.
And at 4-0, I mean, it's a total different to what we had on Nuke. But what I find so weird is that B-side control, and it's somehow so easy for Vex to obtain. And it seems like Banana is something Trick doesn't contest too much. I mean, they got two players right now standing in that direction. But now a change of tactics that might just lead Tricked to lose another round. It comes down to Aker. Nobody's in his scope yet. Players have surrounded him already. And, oh, nearly not dying there to Piff, but the MP5 SD. Silent and deadly it is. Now we're going to White Oiler. Still under control of the Vex side. So Snedker is looking left, right, and center. He's shaking his head like, what's happening? What can I do around me? And he's just being trapped, cornered, and taken out. So it comes down to only Lucky. Runs out of bullets in the end. Possibly would have gotten even Vanity, but that clip was empty. And Quins just can retrieve the leftovers from the corpses. Gets himself that AWP, but Vex is looking definitely like the better aggressing team right here.
Yeah, especially Trick not really adapting to the playstyle of Vex. I mean, it's, again, Vex with a very fast mid control, just smoking off one side and pushing through everything and getting mid and an A long control. And Trick, even in this round, had no player guarding long. They have two players on short, trying some crazy tower, and one player holding apartments. I mean, I get what Trick is trying to do. They're trying to get some earlier entry kill, but especially if you're playing a team like Vex who are playing so fast, you just need to get some crossfire, and especially maybe aggress even more towards the middle. Because it's way too easy for Vexed. It's only one smoke, one flash, and they get mid control.
I mean, I guess a good coordination as a CT is quite tough when you're not really a full team in that way.
Yeah.
On Inferno. I mean, this is weird. We're in 20 seconds, right? And Vanity lost 3 HP whilst taking the top of Banana already, forcing Quince away and leaving Trick back squatting in the corner on the side, hoping that Vex doesn't come that explosive once more around the corner. And I mean, with Quicks coming in first, that might just be the case. Supportive flash doesn't even matter. Vanity finds the frag. This is right now an early rotation though coming in from Snetka, but if the CT smoke is going to pop on a Molotov, he can't do anything with his AWP, rotating over to the coffins. And the funny part is, in case they're attacking A, they won't meet anyone for a while as they're rotating over. Borup and Lucky, they basically shame the same Acra.
It's a perfect call from them to just double crossfire in the pit. No one guarding long. I think they won't expect both players in the pit right now.
Oh, but this right now. Lucky made his announcement. Bomb's going down anyway. Finds himself a second. Beautifully done by him. The guy who stepped up late during train. C4 is at least now working, but there comes number one for Trick. It took a while. It really did, but Acre and Co. finally, rebound, breathe in, a little bit of relief as his team gets the first one on the board.
But
the money, I mean.
You mean on the side of Vex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they don't need to worry about it. Maybe, I don't know, Ozzy has to worry about it, but I think his teammates should have his back. What I really liked in this round from Trick, on the previous round, was the double setup in pit. So normally when you lose a player, especially on the A side, what I hate to see is when you still have one player playing pit and you have one player playing long by himself. So I like to just double down. Just play double pit, leave A long open, and try to hold A side from one position, which worked out perfectly. And now we can see this time Trick finding the opening on Piff, but HNS with an answer against Quincy.
Quincy?
Yeah, Quincy Jones.
Who's Quincy Jones?
You don't know?
No, I only know Alex Jones, this guy who's always mad at Alexa.
Quincy Jones
Alexa!
is, I think, producer and musician. A famous one. And also, I think there was a TV series called Quincy. It's a medical doctor or something like it. I don't know.
Imagine there would be a Zeus kit with Alex Jones. And every time you kill somebody, Alexa! That would be insane. Right now, though, Tricked. Nearly as outrageous as Alex Jones himself tried to keep the control. Acre just flicking around the corner, finding himself Ozzy, and that's a Quicks left alone. I'm not quite sure if he's going to do the sprint over there to come over CT. That seems very unrealistic to me. He still does it. Oh, and if this man comes over from library, then things might look bad for Trick. And by that, I mean really bad, but just doesn't need to announce himself. Doesn't make any noise. That should be working.
No.
So he's the first.
No.
Trigger discipline is crucial. Gets one. Gets a second as well. Needs to look into pit. He now needs to find a single shot, and the Molotov could just buy it out for him. But Lucky, he can't just stay alive. He might just die in the end. He might just die in the end. He just knives him. He doesn't. Or does he find him in the end? Where is the kill? There it is. Last second. The knife in the chest.
Wow.
But take a look at the discipline. He saw the third, though.
But he still played it nearly perfectly. I mean, he saw the third, but he knew he couldn't get the second kill to his left. So he went for a first kill to his left, then went one step back. So he was covered from his left side and nearly clutching out the round.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? No one.
Ozzy.
Ozzy Osbourne. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually where I wanted to go. I wanted to go Ozzy B. Bird. Sorry. It's getting late. It's getting late. You know, my girlfriend always says I'm not funny. I don't believe her though.
I mean, she has a good point.
I wish she would have a point once in a life. Besides the fact, what she really says is that the XM1040 is an overrated shotgun. I guess your advice would be to break up with her instantly.
Probably yes.
A few phrases. What if your girlfriend says this to you? You know she's cheating on you. The XM1040 is a bad gun. It could be a BuzzFeed quiz right now.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But right now, Vexed easily maintaining and obtaining the control over there on the B sites. Acre looking to borrow. They got it all in their hands right now. But they rather give it away to Vexed. Leave them the space for number 6 because not even 4 digits on any of those bank accounts. They're at the guy with the raccoon.
That's a problem. I think they will maybe force in the next round. I mean, they have 3 weapons saved. So Snetker and Quince, if they buy maybe CZ, some grenades, still everything is possible. And Vex, but Vex themselves don't have that much money. So it's important for them that they played this round flawlessly so far. Vex is still near danger, but I think everyone from Vex should survive this round, yeah.
You know what bothers me?
What?
We never solved that Wendigo riddle.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody told us.
Yeah.
I mean, are they actually called Wendigo because their color is indigo?
And they like winning.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next point, isn't it?
Probably.
I'd love to know. Besides that, just to make sure, this is not the final match of today. We later on got a German duel. So get your German friends off your Steam list. Contact them. Tell them right now, okay, listen. Tonight, there's a German showdown. Alternate attacks versus Sprout here in the United Masters League. By the way, if you feel like it, don't forget to tweet #UML about your favorite teams. If Wendigo is actually called Indigo, and if Snetker should have made that frag on HNS who wanted to jump down to CT. But besides that, it's Trick taking control at the moment. Not quite well.
Yeah, and we also saw a nice answer from Trick. So instantly, as Vex was getting mid control, and they knew Vex really likes to go for this B split really fast. We saw 2 players waiting to see the spawn for those Vex players coming from A, and now it's only all up to Quicks getting dinged from the side, at least finding Schnetka.
But this is the point in time where we need to reconsider how often do I repeat the same strat.
Yeah.
I think 3 or 4 times
Yep.
they already went from the A side to CT. And like at one point, Trick is realizing that.
Yeah.
They're far away from being a team that is not having like the awareness of something.
Yeah.
And that's where you also need to... This is just reminding me of yesterday of Existence Galaxy in the middle position.
Mm-hmm.
How often are you going to try to even attack middle before you realize, forget about it. This doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, you're right. So Vexed, I mean, but we saw already some mix-up, some nice B-execute. But they're still relying on that mid-control heavily. This time around, we see Trick is listening to you, so getting the banana control. We're up there just around the corner.
It's a thing, a few rounds ago, it was actually Vexed at that point in time already being up on top banana.
Yeah.
Right now, logically switching strategies. Snetker having a beautiful bit, taking a look beside the hay bales. And it seems like everyone of Trick right now knew how to orchestrate that one to make it work out. Money's looking bad, and Quicks will probably not recover that one in favor of his team. So let's see if Trick really go for the tie that early on. If he wants to go for the overtime in the long run, or if anyone can actually grab early control of this. Because Vex looked very strong in a few rounds ago. Looked like the dominance might just continue, but Trick figured a way to not be fooled anymore by the guys with the red X.
Yeah, so maybe Trick is able to get back to this game. Now they have some money saved. At least some players. We see the AWP on Snetker, who previously played only a scout. And it's one eco for Vexed. Then they should be ready to go, although we can see some players not having that much money. So they could be struggling next round. A bomb plant would be something Vex would really like to see.
And there's banana control.
Yeah.
As you've been looking for. Snetker also finding Vanity. In such a round, I mean, your options are pretty much near to zero. Looking, doing a little bit of aim practice.
I'm not even sure if maybe it was on purpose to bait the player out above him. He shot one time, then he reloaded. So the player hears a reload, maybe goes for the peak and finds his death.
Oh, Piff trying his best. 5 to 6 it is though. Trick is coming closer and closer and closer. AKs are back on the T sites, and we see right now it's Vanity trying his best to keep his team really up there, but
yeah,
it doesn't work out that much.
It looks like they're again going for the B control. This time they should get it. Or pushing down the middle, finding the first one, nearly finding the second.
Oh,
Then it's Quicks, but Snetker, great backup from him. So it's advantage for Trick right now, 4v3. We see they tried to gain banana control, but now they just went back. I think the smoke, it's not the perfect banana control. I think the smoke is too late, so they're distinguishing their own Molotov. In that way, the smoke doesn't fit perfectly. HNS looking maybe for the AWP, I don't know. But then there was no AWP, maybe the bomb.
I think there was just a funeral.
Saying
Saying a
probably,
prayer.
yeah.
In nomine Patri, Filii, Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
That's one thing my teammates always tell me.
What?
Amen.
Amen? You mean amen?
I mean, I should start aiming. Amen.
Amen. Like on cash, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, no amen here on Inferno. It comes down to Quince now hitting his shots as he's the last one and the leftover on the side of B. Vex still takes that control the last 45 seconds. And Snetker, as well as Lucky, what are they looking for? Because this one probably won't work out. I mean, their wallets are all quite filled.
Yeah.
Got all the purple dollar bills in their back, but rather hiding.
It was a strange double setup from Tricked on B side right now. We saw one player had a nice position, but the thing is, normally you have the second player just baiting for him from Coffins. In this case, I think it was, let me see, I think Quince was it, who just didn't bait for his teammate, just had a flash in hand, and then we saw his teammate just get overwhelmed by 3 terrorists rushing him.
The question is, will Vix now bring this into like a 10-5 situation? That is sort of the case right now, because they would really benefit from, at that point in time, shutting down Tricked's economy by really making that one work. Maybe sticking to the basics. They have been struggling in Banana, but right now there will be a clash quite early on. Nobody's really taking damage there on the Tricked side as well, so they could directly push onto the B side. There's a rotation happening with 2 players. And that's so fast in the round. We're just 20 seconds in.
Yeah, we can see no one was guarding A side now. All rotating back. Since Quince calling for his teammates. Slow down, guys. But it's the second wave B hit now coming in.
Oh, look at all those dots. Look at all those lines. But it's Aker finding himself frag onto Aussie and HNS from right and left. Players are coming and they're saying, hello, we would like to greet you. Because we want to, well, take a look if we could buy the real estate on the B site. And not real estate, open for business, but Snetker, he definitely wants to have that one. And there you have the lurk and the frag coming in from Piff that now brings the team into a situation where there's a man advantage, where they should know where Lucky as well as Snetker are coming from. Or they just need to lock it up, close those doors, close the gates, and put some metal chains around it. Snetguru not allowed to enter. Trespassing still allowed, but he still gets the frag onto Quicks. Kills one of the guards. 2 more alive. Vanity hoping that he will exit at one point in time. There he hears him. There he finds him. Up. Slapped out of the hands of Snetger. And there's also the half already belonging to Vexed.
Yeah, the question for Trick right now, should they buy or should they just eco one more round? The money's all over the place. Acre, no money at all, but Lucky could buy an AWP for him.
You know, the thing I love so much about Tricked,
Yeah.
I think it is Tricked at least. There's one player, born 96, and his mom always, she's on Twitter as well, and she
Okay.
does those videos with the team he's in, plus all the 4 teammates, and she does those movie maker videos where she takes all the HLTV pictures,
Yeah.
puts them together, takes some royalty-free music, and just does supportive videos or something. I think she even follows me. That's really, I love the support of her. It's
that's
so
sweet,
it's so sweet, really, because she's trying so hard. She seems to be a very supportive mother, and I mean, that's in the end still something you need right now in esports. I mean, it's cool when you have it in society, but if your
Yeah.
parents still hate you for playing video games your entire day, which is some sort of understandable somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're having bad grades and you're playing all day, it's
Understandable. I mean, probably I would react the same way. You know, I think school is always first, and if you finish school, then do whatever you want.
So
But
we-
you need a backup plan.
so we also have a little bit of educational purpose here.
Yeah, of course.
And basic messages:
Stay in school.
stay in school, kids. Or if you don't stay in school, A, hope for rich parents, or B, have a really cool idea. If you have a really cool idea, I support it. But right now, you Vex have a really cool idea to go down to the B sites.
Oh, and there's one player sitting in the corner in the smoke, and he's not being checked right now. But it's with an AWP. Oh, it's not going to able even to get one entry kill.
And Acre is also not looking that great HP-wise right now. Quinn's with a beautiful shot, securing his number 1 in around number 14. But the rotation has already happened, and Piff definitely lurking around. You see him in Inferno. He's really feeling very comfortable with that lurk. The back not against the wall, but the back against Lucky, who right now just waits to find his first. Smart enough to go behind the cobblestone wall. And Trick already changed the positions from playing a lot of pit, right now playing more likely on side. And the line back on the site. Vanity Scope definitely has been hurt. Needs to try to find anything. Acre is though there and ready. Borup not being checked. Awareness missing. Vexed giving number 6 to Tricked right now. And this is round number 15. Do we see a free round advantage or not? That's the question.
I mean, Vexed are at the financial limits right now. 3 mech 10s, only 1 Deagle, and 1 AK on Vanity. And it looks like they're going again for this fast mid control, it seems. Netge at least getting banana control. Now we can see both players from B sides rotating. Although one is nearby in case Netge needs some help. And the boost from Bor could be important, but it's gonna be an A house explode.
Oh, and there he sees the first. Another one coming though. He needs to check that corner. It's Lucky who's holding them up for the moment, decimating them one by one by one by one.
Oof, oof.
And that's the way you can tap him away. Vexed can only get a 1 round benefit out of this, and it's a little bit disappointing if you think they had a 6-2.
Yeah.
To start off in the first
Yep.
part of this half, and they were looking way more dominant, but at one point it was like where you saw, okay, Tricked, we know how to play this right now. You can try your strats over and over again. And also, the thing is, Lucky and Acre stepping up quite well.
And also Tricked, as you mentioned, adapting, going more for the banana aggressive control, banana control time and time again. Also some nice rotation from Tricked. And just adapting to this playstyle effect. So this loose, fast playstyle, the fast mid control. This time it's again Vex pushing down the middle, going for the duels and finding Borup.
And as we see, it's going to be Aussie struggling with that USPS. I think there's a laser mode, and there's like a I don't hit a single thing mode. It's at least that how it works for me. Some people have more of this laser mode somehow. It still is Vexed having a man disadvantage, and Trick definitely interested in tying it up as soon as possible. As HNS tries to see where he can end up. And as Hannes Johansson doesn't hit too much. Here we go with the tie. Vexed trying their best, getting at least a few frags here and there, but somehow, maybe this is the opposite of what we had on Train. Like the total opposite.
Yeah. I also liked how Trick adapted in the just by also how they have tracked it.
Goddamn German.
Yeah.
When does this finally stop with you, Zini?
I need to start dreaming in English maybe then. Yeah.
That's a good idea. There's a punishment. There's a piggy bank.
Yeah.
When every time you say something German, 50 cents. And if you do it over and over and over again, maybe at one point, Donna doesn't need to pay for the meal anymore because you spoke so much German. It's all your fault.
It's always the fill words. When I'm struggling, then the German crowd comes back.
The German crowd.
Yeah.
Which German crowd, actually? Ah, you mean crowded? That? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I was thinking, what crowd? What is he saying? I mean, we had Tom sitting here.
Yeah.
If that's a crowd to you, but the 8-8 and Vanity looking in the face of his teammate like, boost me up, mate. He's like, sure. Can you water the plants, please? He's up there like, a little bit for you, a little bit of water for you. So it looks beautiful here in Inferno. One of the most beautiful looking maps in the Counter-Strike history, if you ask me. That's why I like to cast it a lot. It's just beautiful. It gives me positive vibes. No, that's serious. I don't like Nuke for that reason, for example. It might sound a little weird, but it's colorful. Take a look at that. Cathedral glass. And right now, the cathedral, or more likely a church, is going to fall down. Where is God when you need him? That's maybe the thing Vexed ask itself, because Vanity's only down to 21 HP. And a Deagle. And maybe this is God's plan. Maybe he can't do it on his own. Someone is watching this thing very close. For Tricked. Baker getting himself the 9-8 for his team. God's plan.
Yeah, isn't there a song called God's Plan from, I think, Bob Marley?
No, I think it was Mozart.
Ah, yeah, you're right. I always mix
Besides,
those two.
Eshkerit. Eshkerit is from Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Many people don't know that. Because he's the cousin. Ozzy Osbourne is the cousin of Lil Pump.
Yeah, of course.
And 6ix9ine is my uncle. You can see it with the hair most of the time.
Yeah.
It's just the wig I'm wearing. 10-8 though for Tricked. Double digits achieved. How long can they maintain this control? Because we have seen, mostly in those games, there are phases. So the first phase on Train was back and forth, back and forth. Then we had major control from Tricked. Turned the entire thing around. And this is the question right now. Can Trick stick to the same pattern, but keep this phase of winning for a long time and keep Vexed suppressed? Like, you're not getting any control, you're not getting any frags.
Yeah, Trick so far look very promising on the T side. Lucky scored something without dying. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's not too much of a surprise, though.
Because he's lucky.
Good points, but that's not what I meant. Mostly because we had with a pistol beforehand, a pistol round, and then also going through where they try to take a look at their economy. So dying there is a little hard if you ask me, but Vanity dying is only an option for Borup, and I think he also got Quinns down to 15 HP.
And we can see Tricked with all three players right now in the banana. Time is running out, so they will go for a B execute. We have still one player lurking in the middle. He's probably hoping to catch someone off guard while they're rotating. Maybe even a B fake. Like, yeah, it seems like a B fake.
That's nice, but they gotta be quite fast about it.
And Quick still holding.
They're not falling for it though.
Yeah.
Vex is not falling for this, isn't this right now? Quick's just keeping on holding the angle. The bomb has now been spotted as well. Players will rotate in just a second. And HNS needs to be a good guard about this bomb site. Quinn's down. This is where right now the nades play a role. The M4 does it in the end. Vex getting themselves what they were looking for. Finally showing that they're still on the server. It's just a few rounds where they weren't really present, but take a look at it again. Beautifully done. The nade beforehand shows that would have had the potential to go into NBA, but I decided to go into professional Counter-Strike.
Yeah, Trick right now buying what they can, probably their last buy if they lose this round. And it's also nice to see how well Vexed are playing. I mean, they're trusting all their teammates. Normally when you see a B hit coming in so late, there's always at least one player rotating, but you saw all 3 players just trusting their teammates on the B side that they're able to hold off the last 3 terrorists. And so far, yeah, Tricked having some problems against a double AWP setup. Again, setting up for a B hit, but I don't think they will commit to the B hit. We have still Acre far away in the apartments, while all his teammates are playing the banana round.
So what Trick could have learned from that round is that Vex is not falling for things that easily.
Yeah. I mean, he's just faking, just getting some attention towards the A side, while his teammates are now ready for a B explode.
And Quicks is already rotating around. His Vanity finding his first. Could connect onto a second if he'd like to, but Quinn's is first of all helping. Dealing a bit of damage. Players are coming around. Vanity doesn't want to stop, but he's trapped in the corner. He doesn't stop with Snacker. He doesn't stop with Borup. And now it needs to be only Acre to come around the corner if this man wants to find the ace. Somehow checking the left-hand sides. Maybe thought that one pushed through Grill. But at the end of the day, 4 beautiful frags he just found himself. And take a look at that. He's trapped in the corner, squats in there and hopes that nobody comes around, but then flicks onto another one. And DJ Kala is saying, hello, do you need another one? Possibly. He did find 4 in the end. Well-deserved tie.
Yeah, great job from him, especially with only 10 HP left on this part, getting 2 more kills, and now we can see the nade damage taking place in the banana. Luki and Quinn's barely alive.
Luki looks like such a friendly guy. Really. There's definitely something going on in the chat. Right now, image has been dealt, so in case anyone has a bit of technical difficulties, that's the way it is. And Aussie, for 21 rounds, down to 4-14. A little odd to see. That's a big wound left in the head of Borup. He's not going to recover from that soon. But the player's rotating away right now. Quick's focus, though, has shifted over to the B side, but if he can make the sprint over to assist both Piff as well as HNS, that would be phenomenal. And there he comes, going to join Library. Besides the Brooks, there's an AWP right now doing its job. It's going to be the ZZ. It seems like they're not having the awareness. Final bullet running and gunning with the ZZ works in 2018. That means Acre as well as Luki need to see where they can go with this, because low HP on him. Well, Acre just trapped up there, seeing what he can do with that beautiful P250. No chance. Vex take it. And this is what I mean with phases. Right, we had the phase where Trick was down by 3 rounds, grabbing it at number 10, and then Vex came back. Like 5 rounds. There you see it. 5 rounds, 2, 1, 3, 2, 5. So it's a little of consistency every team gets for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, probably the teams adapt to each other. So it's first one team winning, then the other team is adapting. They are winning some rounds, and then it's the adaptation from the next team. And this time around, not that much money for Trick. We see only 1 MP5 from Snetker. And again, I mean, Tricked are playing always the same way. No mid control is straight up go for the B control. It's gonna be the B hit. I mean, it could work again. This time it's a nice bait setup. You see Vanity with the op. I guess his teammate is probably boosted. So Vanity will bait for him, make some noise. But he's not boosted yet. Okay. Oh, and both smokes just out. So miscommunication from Tricked, from Vexed right now. They have no smoke left, and we can even see no rotation yet coming in. They're still waiting. But now there's the boost and the bait from Vanity.
The thing is, those walls of thick smoke are now disappearing, and shots need to be accurate at that point. CT smoked off. Vanity is useless for the moment. Ozzy can find one, but as he jumps down, can't get any more of that. Still, it's 2 players they already put in the grave. There's more to come for Vanity and his teammates, because that retake needs to work, and Ozzy sees the frag onto Snetker, is able to put him down, and there's a Borup and an Acre who still want to put up some resistance to shoot a through bullets to the guys from Vexed. As Acre just hugging the corner, can peek wide, only finds one. Borup is in the flames, can't find one, can't find two, can't find three! He just goes sneaking around the corner, crouching, finds the spray, and there's a piff to find! And Borup goes with the 4th. This B side is cursed with clutches!
Wow. I mean, I'm speechless. That's insane. He was standing in the Molotov, just moving out, spraying and praying, and in the end, I think he himself answered.
The question is, did he even expect that to happen? I mean, the first shot was beautiful, then went crouching backwards and still found all those frags. Put a bullet into each player and enough to kill them all.
Wow. I mean, but that's a play I think Trick needs right now, because they're always running into this problem, sitting the B side, always getting picked off one by one. Vanity, normally, if you have an AWP at this position, he shouldn't be able to find the opening kill if they hit the B side. They need to wait for a pop flash. Didn't wait the pop flash, Vanity gets one free frag. Then the bait works perfectly. They didn't even check Ozzy. Ozzy gets the next frag. So it didn't look well for Trick, and I think they need right now this I don't know, this crazy performance from someone stepping up and making something happen like Borup did last round. And I think now maybe Trick are motivated again, and we could see a change coming, especially if you take a look at the money from Vex right now.
Yeah, but let's be real. That shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't just rely on a single individual.
You should, but I think sometimes you're feeling so down, you need this one guy to step up and to pull you out of your misery and say, hey guys, we can still win.
Yeah, it's unfortunate though, in the end. But anyway. Quicks gets the frag onto Snetker, starting things off good. Vexed don't want to give Trick too much room to breathe, because the problem is if Trick finds this round, it basically counts for both teams, but each of the teams finding a round will pretty much reset their opponents. So it's crucial for each of them.
Exactly. And Trick already losing Snetker. But we can see 4 people from Vex still stacking on the A side. If Trick decides to go for the B hit, this could be the right call. But they're going for a contact play, and I think Quix is holding B with the op himself. So if Quix is able only to tag Acre, but not to finish him.
Do they abut him though? Acre, Lucky, Borup, and Quins.
And still no rotation.
Yeah, that's a little odd. I mean, he definitely heard the steps by now. Yeah. Here at the utility, that C4 is going to go down. And maybe Vexed outplayed themselves. We already realized previously that this team doesn't fall for fakes that easily, but that could have been themselves actually falling for their own sometime intelligent calls. You have to rephrase it sometime, because in this case, their patience didn't pay off. Waiting doesn't always pay off, and so Tricked. The clock is now in their favor, and they just need to wait it out. Borup, who found fantastic kills on the site, this time dies to just that 5-7, and it all falls apart for Tricked. This was all theirs, and suddenly Vex is getting free equipment. Like back in the kids' TV show where you could run through a Toys R Us and get all those toys. You walk around with a shopping cart. You got 60 seconds, get all of that, and that was basically Vex doing it right now.
Yeah.
How was that called? And was it an only German thing? Do you remember it?
It
had this icy theme.
But in the end, you had like some bonus round, and you needed to find some keys in some areas.
Yeah,
of the Toys R Us and
yeah.
something. Yeah.
What was it called?
There was probably also American version. I guess it's probably just
A copy of it.
a knockoff.
That bothers me now.
But you can't remember the name of the show.
So if anyone knows a TV show with a moderator and 2 teams of 5, a kids TV show, and in the end you could go to a big toy shop and for 60 or 90 seconds and actually get your entire shopping cart filled. As much time as you got, and you just need to run out of it. If you know that, please, at Zesht, at XQuserTV, #UML, let me know, because I am struggling. I'm sure I couldn't sleep tonight if I... Even our producer remembers it, but my memory doesn't tell me which one. It was great. It was phenomenal. I always wished I was there.
Yeah, I think every kid dreamt of just running through Toys R Us, and everyone had their own tactic how to make the most money.
Yeah,
out of
going
it.
on the whiteboard and like drawing. Okay, this is the map. This is basically early Counter-Strike. This is the map, and this is my approach to it.
Yeah, we're going for B execute right now. Yeah,
and you only take your strong friends, the friends with big arms. You know, you might be my real friend, but your arms are too small. We're not going in that show. We're not doing that. Forget about it. Pasha Biceps would have been a great guy for that show. If you want to get all the toys
but
out.
maybe he would be too slow.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, you need a good mix of a good biceps and some strong legs.
Well, strong legs and the biceps, it seems like a Glock is enough to get that C4 down. Unbelievable that he's still done that. The Glock dealing a good bit of damage, though it's not known for its accuracy too much. But in this case, it was phenomenal and secured them at least a little bit of additional money.
You can see right now, Vex is trying to contest the banana control. 3 people from Vex right now fighting for banana. Vanity getting flash, but still surviving somehow. 2 people from Vex trapped at the sandbags, but Trick not really committing to it. Want to hit through the wall. Borb only 1 HP. Acre 47 HP. In the meantime, you see Lucky finding an opening kill in A apps. Only 1 person in A right now. And now they have a rotation. No one covering B, all rotating. No. Only 1 playing very passively on B. So Vex going for a little bit of a gamble right now.
That gamble might work out. 60 seconds. But we saw Trick doing many of those mid-route decisions to then just change sides whilst Vex is not falling for it. And it might just sell them that B-side fake. Snatker doesn't seem to be really deciding yet where he wants to go. I mean, he's leaning now towards the A side a little more. We've got 2 balcony players, and this is the same we have seen from Trick, playing it more towards pit with 2 individuals. Quince is trying to sell it over, and probably Quix is going to feel like he has done the right decision. Well done, and players right now starting the movement. Aussie is still there in time, and Acre finds himself too, which opens up major opportunities towards the side of A. And Vanity? Quix? They got the money, they could have...
I'm not quite sure what Vanity is holding, because it's... Okay, maybe you're just holding the smoke, if anyone was waiting in the smoke. Which was very unlikely, but still playing it safe. And I think they both will just save the op, because the teammates don't have that much money, so they need to drop at least 2 weapons. That's not good.
That's not great at all. 4-6, 4-9. That money was there on the line, and 2 guns brought in around. Especially as a CT, very useful to have 2 obs in the follow-up, but Tricked is still fighting, and they're not just fighting a bit, they're fighting big time.
And I also like that normally if you see a fake on a B side that late, you throw the smokes, but you don't really commit and just rotate towards A to help your teammates out. In this case, we saw someone, I don't know who it was, some player of Tricked committing to the B hit. Although Vanity found his first kill, it's still, I think it was a... Even though the terrorist died on the B fake, because he died, that's why the players rotated from A, because they felt, okay, one is dying on B, probably there's more on B. But if they just had thrown the smokes and didn't commit to it, to the fake, I don't think that both players in the pit would have rotated that fast.
Sure, that's a good point. Do we get another overtime, Sini? That's the question. I got the feeling we will. I really think we will get another overtime.
Yeah, I hope so.
I, as a Jinx Master, just denied the overtime anyway. But it comes down really much to Vexed in that one. I mean, the thing is, you got a double op setup, but this is your like final investment. Trick will get the 13-13, the tie.
Yep.
And then follow up, you will really have an economic struggle. You have a crisis up ahead because Trick can run away with that whilst you're losing. Not for the best reason.
It's Tricked again. Going for the heavy B control, banana control. But I don't think they will commit to the B hit this time around. We can see, again, two players waiting somewhere towards A side. And no rotation happening so far. So I think Vexed learned the lesson. He won't fall for a fake again. And we can see all players are rotating towards the B side. It's going to be the B hit. It didn't work out fine for Tricked.
But that right now should be...
at the time.
That should be right now the alarm ringing big time. That should be like the alarm ringing really big time. You see barely having them utility.
Ooh.
But Tricked, they're going to get that one. 100%. Vex is even not coming close. Like there's some magnetic field around it. And you're always being pushed away from that B side. And that's your brain saying,
yep.
I'd rather not go close to that.
And I think Vanity normally played the position of Ozzy around the corner, but in this case, I'm not quite sure if there was a miscommunication from Vex. We saw Vanity a little bit overwhelmed by the terrorist cruising around the corner, and also I mean, we saw Tricked, I think, even explode before the smokes really went into place. So maybe surprising Vanity with the up. And now, as you said before, 13-13, somehow Vex are still able to buy something. I think, did they save some weapons? Yeah, I think they saved some weapons, otherwise it would be strange.
Yeah, they did. But the question is, do Vex really have the alacrity to now get into this properly and make the win happening? Because it just doesn't feel right. And that's odd. I mean, from Trick has won. Okay, this is not telling us like on which side, T or 3T.
Yeah.
But winning set out of 11 4 out of 4 situation tells at least that, you know, even with a man down, even if they lost an individual, it's okay.
Yeah, so now probably Vex trying their best. I mean, they bought everything they can. The next, if they lose this round, Tricked probably will have the draw already safe, since Vex won't be able to buy next round, and will do a full eco. But for now, we have one up on Quicks. We got 2 M4s on Piff and HNS. And we got 3 players on B again, so they're again trying to hold off the banana control, but not really putting, just throwing some nades and already rotating. So it's only one op left on the B side.
Oh no.
Oh, and if Quicks dies, and he's going for the aggression.
That's a very weird movement we just saw from him. Now he's definitely forced away, and forcing the rotation though from Vexed. And the 2 players who initially wanted to move towards the A side and support that position, now going back to B. And with that kind of play, and the MP9 in the perfect position, by the way. We'll need to see how that one goes.
And you can see Vex getting nervous. I mean, in the beginning, they didn't rotate at all. And now, just one smoke is coming in and they all start rotating. So, I think the pressure is getting to them, but not to Quicks.
Finds himself Acre. And now is the question, if the initial aggression, will the initial aggression leave Vexed to keep free players on the B side and the A side or not? Because time is running away. They have dropped the bomb. It's 40 more seconds and they need to make a decision right now if they want to go towards the side of B or not. They got a bit more banana control, but we know the B side has all its corners and dark angles. You can't check that easily. And there comes the fake. They're selling this. This is the first wave. Then the second wave will come in. There's the bomb being picked up by the side of Vexed. But Lucky taken out in the end. And Borup finds another. It's going to be right now. Oh! Snatker doing a very important frag. Puts HNS to sleep. As that player could have just ruined the entire plan and made Tricked crumble. But we see Vexed. The thing is, those guns aren't that expensive. Those guns aren't that important, so you rather take the risk is one of the legitimate options. And Vanity will do that, whilst at the same time, Aussie will stick to the MP9. They really don't go for it. They rather keep that equipment that, not even that great equipment, not that great of weaponry. Whilst the next round will barely offer them anything.
At least Vanity going for exit kills. They know they're trying to save, but Quince, he's there for the backup. And now Aussie hoping to find maybe an M4. Maybe even the AWP?
Yeah, he will get that.
Yeah, at least. The only thing I was not happy about, I mean, we saw Tricked faking the B hit and it worked perfectly. We saw rotation from Quicks instantly towards the B side. But then, normally, I would say you don't go towards A long. Because, of course, if you go A long and you just fake B, you will 100% meet someone from CD spawn rotating towards the A side. So normally you would maybe just try to go A short where there's less aggression from the CTs. But in the end it worked out, especially Snatker with the important frag on HNS. And I think HNS was pretty mad after dying on the side with the chance to clutching it out.
Oh, right now though, Orb and Lucky making that work, and this is the AWP already.
Yeah.
Slapped away from the side of Vexed, and this is where it now gets a little critical for the Red X. Lucky continues, AWP at least now in the hands of HNS. It would have been a great tool, by the way, to secure maybe an entry frag, then giving a gun to one of your teammates. Yeah. But actually, taking that one out in the first few seconds, this was very, very crucial. It seems like no two frags have happened. It's now only an Aussie who could do anything about it. And I mean, I don't want to call it off. Close range. CZ. But he didn't expect Quince to be that nearby. And there's the 15-13. One more for Tricked. A single one. And that's also the single and last opportunity for Vexed to now go into overtime and make that one work. So can the Danes grab that one, bring it home, and go out of this 2-0. First victory in the United Masters League. Or will there be any opposition coming at them?
And we see for Vex there's one important factor missing, and it's the AWP on Vanity and Quince with two very important opening kills. I don't know, Vex maybe too optimistic, pushing through a smoke, hoping that Quince would be blind. And now it's all up to Quicks, and even he's been seen.
Molotovs might be useful, but Borup just put 7.62 in his head. Splits it into pieces. And it seems like HNS is the final one. 16-13 might just happen in a second, but we're not going to call that one yet because he found two. And you never know what's about to happen next because, well, if there's a Swede mad at you, you don't necessarily want to fight him. Taking the way around, we saw just Snetker trying to hit him off guards. He announces himself, makes a loud sound cue in this, and the Molotov blocks him away. No reason to peek, not a single one. Look, he says, what is this guy even saying? I'm going to go out there, and there's the 2-0. It works for Tricked. My haircut really got weird.